Next ball game, UCF taking on Duke, 2 o'clock Wednesday kickoff in the Military Bowl. Duke's the 4-point favorite, total 62. And even though Duke finished pretty strong here this year, they did have one of the worst secondaries in the ACC. Matter of fact, Duke was in the bottom 25 in the entire country in pass defense. They're also facing a high-powered UCF team who averaged over 480 total yards of offense a game. Javon Baker and Ryan O'Keefe, they finished with over 1,400 receiving yards combined. When it comes to the running game, the Knights rushed for 33 touchdowns on the ground this year as a team. Now, weather-wise, 43 degrees and sunny by game time. A little bit of a chill in the air. Going to be kind of crisp, here for these Orlando boys. When it comes to the total, UCF saw 4 out of their last 5 get over the line. Meanwhile, Duke went 60% to the over in their last 10. Even though it's going to be chilly, got to lean toward them. Give me UCF plus 4 over 62. Next game, Kansas, Arkansas, 5:30 Liberty Bowl. Arkansas is the 3-point favorite, total 68. And as bad as Arkansas was, well, the Jayhawks were even worse down the home stretch. Kansas lost 6 out of their final 7 contests. And they gave up 35 points or more in all of those games except for one. Now, when it comes to defensive play, the Jayhawks finished 121st in total yards allowed per game. And just for reference, there's 131 qualifying FBS teams. Now, they're facing an Arkansas team who had little issue moving the football themselves. As a matter of fact, the Razorbacks had a top 10 rushing attack in the nation. Raheem Sanders, he finished the regular season with over 1,400 yards and double-digit scores. The running back actually averaged 6.5 yards a carry. Meanwhile, as a team, Arkansas beat the likes of Ole Miss, Auburn, and BYU this year. Now, weather-wise, 50 degrees and breezy by game time in Memphis. When it comes to the total, Arkansas went 75% to the over for the entire season. Meanwhile, Kansas went 8-4 to the over for the whole year themselves. Give me Arkansas minus 3 over 68. Next game, Oregon taking on North Carolina, 8 o'clock Eastern kickoff in the Holiday Bowl. Oregon's the 15-point favorite, total 75. And even though they are favored by 15, the Ducks did lose 2 out of their last 3, and they have one of the worst secondaries in the Pac-12. These guys finished in the bottom 25 in the nation in passing yards allowed. Now, they're also facing a North Carolina team who throws it for over 315 yards a game. Derek May finished 3rd in the country in passing yards and 6th in touchdowns. Meanwhile, wide receiver Josh Downs, he had a 1,000-yard season along with 11 scores. Now, injury-wise, mostly clear and 57 degrees by game time in San Diego. When it comes to the total, UNC saw overs against the likes of NC State, Pitt, and Duke. Meanwhile, Oregon's 60% to the over in their last 10. Give me North Carolina plus 15, keeping that one close, over 75. Next game, Texas Tech, Ole Miss, 9 o'clock in the Texas Bowl. Ole Miss is minus 3, total 71. Now, in my opinion here, Ole Miss should be able to run all over these guys. The Rebels rushed for over 260 yards a game, and they finished in the top 3 in the nation in that category. Now, no real surprise here, guys. The Rebels also finished in the top 10 in the country in total yards per game as well. Quinshon Judkins, he has nearly 1,500 yards on the season, along with 16 scores. Even Zach Evans and Jackson Dart, they rushed for over 1,400 combined yards themselves. They're facing a Texas Tech defense who allowed over 165 yards a game on the ground, and they finished 100th in the nation in total yards allowed. Now, no real surprise here, guys. The Red Raiders allowed 30 points a game for the entire season. When it comes to the total, Texas Tech went 6-3 to the over in their last 9. Meanwhile, Ole Miss saw overs against the likes of Arkansas, Texas A&M, and LSU. Give me Ole Miss minus 3 over 71.